Hey, what's up guys, Totally Dubbed here, and today I'm doing a overview and review of the Perixx PX-1800. So this keyboard is a US layout keyboard, so before I get into it, as I am in the UK, it is a US layout. You've got a small enter button and you've got the @ sign and the actual pound key over here. It's a gaming membrane keyboard, and it's got 3 different colors of backlight, which I'll get to in a second. It can be purchased for £20, which is super cheap, in the link in the description below from amazon.co.uk. So this keyboard is absolutely excellent, I've got to say. I've been using it for gaming and typing and I've been very much impressed. But before I get into my subjective opinions, I should probably get onto the features. So on the side over here you've actually got buttons. They're not just pretty lights, they're actually buttons. And if I go a little bit closer, you'll be able to see there's like a little illumination button. If I press that, you can see the keys are going to start dimming until they get into another one, which essentially cycles between the 3 colors. The colors are red, green, and a yellow greenish tinge. So I'm going to put it on max brightness, and then I'm going to change the color. So you can change it from red, greenish yellow, off, and green. Over here you've got a really clever button. It says WASD, and so WASD, as some of you might know, is for running on FPS games. This is quite clever. As you can see, there's little arrow keys over here, and on the arrow keys over here you've got WASD. When I press this button, essentially all it does is it switches these buttons with these 3 buttons. And that means, well, these 4 buttons should I say, what it means is that this is now WASD and this is now the arrow keys, so left, right, up and down. So to demonstrate this, I'm just quickly going to show you on the computer. So as you can see, this, as I'm trying to say, this is left and right, and this is WASD. So I'm just going to be pressing S, and you'll be able to see it advancing over there with S. So it's pretty cool, the fact that you get to change this. It's quite a little nifty little feature. So I really like this because I've never seen it in another keyboard, and especially at a keyboard at such a reasonable price. Absolutely excellent from Perixx. Then you've got the repeat rate, 30 and 60. You can change the repeat rate. So 30 essentially is what you would expect. So on 30, if I just zoom in a little bit, you'll be able to see it just in a little bit detail. I'm going to delete all of this and press Y. So I'm just going to hold down Y. Look at the speed that it's going on. Now I'm going to press the 60 button, well, the button between 30 and 60, and now look at the repeat rate. Can you see how much faster it is? I'm just holding it down. Now 30, holding it down, pressing again 60. As you can see, that is what the repeat rate does. And you might be saying, what is that for? Why would you ever use that? Well, if you're an MMORPG gamer or RTS gamer, then you will really appreciate that. If you're an FPS gamer, it probably will be no use to you. Then you've got a win lock button, which is over here. So if you press that win lock, nothing happens. And if you press it again, then it's enabled. Over here you've got a keyboard lock. Now I'm not sure why you would use this, but there's a button for it. If you press it, nothing works on your keyboard. Press it again and then suddenly everything is fine. On this keyboard, you're also not really strived of functionalities, because Perixx have been very good to include media functionalities. You've got all the media functionalities you're going to need, so volume down, volume up, mute, stop, previous, next, play, pause, a shortcut to your media player, and then you've even got shortcut to your email and your browser. Your default browser is a keyboard lock again, and then this is a quick access to the calculator, the Windows calculator. So it's absolutely brilliant. In terms of features, top class. How do I feel now in terms of typing? Now typing wise, I've got to say, it wouldn't be my preference. If I had to choose a cheap keyboard, it'd probably be the Perixx PX-1800, which I've previously reviewed. That was a really nice keyboard to type on because it was really nice and soft. This, on the other hand, is a little bit more stiff. So it felt a little harder to type on, and if I had to compare it to mechanical keyboards, this would be kind of like a black switch keyboard in terms of typing. It's a little harder to press. But that said, on the gaming front, absolutely excellent. As it's harder to press, you make fewer errors because you don't accidentally press buttons which are soft. It's harder to press them down. So if you're an FPS gamer, I think you'll like this. But if you are someone who's going to be typing a lot and you want to be gaming as well, it might not be my pick. That is subjective because I personally don't like keyboards which are a little bit hard to press, but that is my subjective opinion. I should also show you a listening test, and just before I do, I'll just give you a quick overview of the keyboard. So as you can see, you've got the colors over here, which are those buttons. You've got a nice Perixx logo over here, which is of a different material. On the side over here, you've got a nice little logo with the PX-1800 gaming keyboard logo over here. At the top, you've got the num lock, caps lock, and win lock buttons. So if I hit the win lock button, it comes up there, and num lock over there, and caps lock over there. And underneath, you've got a very simple layout. You've just got a couple of rubber bits over here, and you've got the flip up things over here. The wire is also braided, which is nice. It's like a very dark blue, and it's very, very thin, which is a little bit worrying, but it's no problem. I should also mention that this keyboard comes with no software, which is absolutely brilliant in my opinion, because you don't have to wonder and have any problems with any sort of software conflicts. No software. Plug and play. Drivers are installed via the internet, via Windows, and bang, Bob's your uncle. You can get down and play and type. So now I'm going to go on to the listening test, which I'm going to bring the keyboard down, the camera down to the keyboard. God, there we go. There we got there finally. You can see in the background is my mechanical keyboard. So I'm just going to be typing, and I'll just be silent. So as you can hear, it's a little bit, it's quite nice and silent. It doesn't make loads of noise, but the PX-1100, in my opinion, was a bit more silent and much easier to press. One thing I should mention about pressing is this shift button over here and even the shift button over there are nice and large, and they are, in some respect, a little bit on a different gradient. I don't know how to explain this, but the control key is a little bit higher raised than these buttons over here, and especially the shift key. I don't know if that's done on purpose or not, but it is a cool implementation for FPS gamers because it's just easier to press. Also, I did find it a little softer to press in comparison to the other keys. It feels, for some reason, just a little easier. I don't know quite how to explain it apart from you gotta try it for yourselves. It is easier to press than the keys. Very weird. Whereas the enter key just feels like all the other keys on the keyboard. So thought to mention that because it's just something I noticed, including this shift key over here. So I'm only guessing that it's been softer, designed a bit softer for FPS gamers, so that, you know, when they're running they don't get tired of constantly holding shift. So if that's purposeful, then great job, Perixx, because that's a very small feature to add in there, but super for FPS gamers. Anyway, guys, this has been a review for the Perixx PX-1800 gaming keyboard. I've got to say, top marks to Perixx, 10 out of 10 in my opinion, especially at its price. Unbelievable quality for what you get. You really can't go wrong. It's backlit, it's really nice to game on. Depending on your preference, it could be nice to type on. It's got great functionalities left and at the top, and overall just looks and feels brilliant. Really nice. Great job, Perixx. Highly recommended it. So if you guys want to check this keyboard out, make sure you check in the link in the description below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a nice healthy thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And it always helps if you can favorite and share a video, because it's always good to spread the word. Alright guys, I've been totally dubbed, and it's been the Perixx PX-1800. Take care guys, bye bye.